thing that usually, the first thing that usually comes to their mind is cut down training costs. Okay, if you have experiences or if you agree with what I'm saying, can I get a 1 in the comment section? What they do, first of all, is cut down training costs. Is that not so? All right. Yes, cut down training costs. That's what they do. And then, yes, do you agree with me? I mean, have we experienced this before? Come on, let's make the room. Let's make the room. Put a 1 in the comment section. Let me know if you've seen this before. Yes, it's happened before. It's still happening today. So the next thing they do is they say, okay, let's cut down on the head count. That means the number of people that are working, let's cut down on the head count. So thank you very much. So I was in a space where companies were not willing to spend. So that pushed me into looking for alternatives. I went online. So I started doing quite a number of businesses online. And then I made a lot of money online and I lost a lot of money, maybe even almost all of them online. The biggest one happened in 2018, December, second week of 2018, when I lost $480,000. Some people ask me, how did you survive it? I lost $480,000. Everything, almost everything I've worked for. I'd gone into business. At the time, my wife was running a school, and so the money, everything. So what were we doing? We were giving our monies to other people to do business for us, to invest in our behalf. I got some returns on investment. I'm sure that many of us here have probably been in that space where we give people money to invest for us. And so I was in that space and I was fine. All right, let me see. We have to mute everyone. All right. So I was in that space, and many of us have probably experienced that. So we give money to people to do investments for us. So I lost $480,000. And somebody called me up and advised me that one of the fastest way to make the money back is to go into Forex. So I gathered some money and we had to give to some other people who were trading and say we're doing cryptocurrency, Forex, blah, blah, blah. About 6 weeks down the line, that money also gone. Then I had a group of people who said, why don't you invest in something that you have control over? Why don't you invest in something that you can actually, that you see, that is physical? All right. Using my earpiece now. I hope you can hear me. Can you all hear me still? Can you all hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, all right, great stuff, great stuff. Thank you. I just wanted to be sure that I'm not just firing away. So I decided to go into fish farming. So I leased a large expanse of land with a building on it for quite a long period of time, number of years. And then I got 3 big ponds, 15 feet by 10 feet by 6 feet deep. I started with about 6,000 fingerlings. I got a storehouse full of feed. I was ready to just bounce in. And so because people had told me that in about 6 months, I could make 100%. So I said, okay, so that means if I put 10, 20 million Naira, I sell a couple of things, I put like 10, 20 million Naira, in 6 months, I could make some money back. Yeah, that's not up to what I had lost in 2018, but at least that was going to help. I think that was going to help, you understand? So I went in, and 6 months down the line, you know what happened? 6 months down the line, I lost everything. Because fish farming wasn't my thing. I knew nothing about fish farming, but I was in a hurry to recover. But I forgot that it takes one strike, one blow to inflict a wound on someone, but it could take months for you to get to heal. Why am I telling you this story? Because all of us must have passed through something like this, something maybe not up to this point or something more. And it's on this background that I want to build on whatever I'm going to share with you going forward. So stay with me. So a coach of mine, a mentor of mine called me and told me that, Stallone, you are making decisions from a wrong frame of mind. So why don't you take a break? So I took a break towards the end of 2019 into 2020. And then, excuse me. So you get what I'm saying? Now, sorry, I got this. Somebody's trying to get into the room, so I'm trying to give directions. Sorry. So 2020 coronavirus came. My friends, I sold 3 cars to survive the coronavirus period. I'm going to come back to what is selling 3 cars and the importance of that in this journey to survive the period. Then in 2021, January, February, a friend of mine called me and said, look, let's have dinner. And I refused because I didn't want to go out. It was my wife that nudged me, and then I went out because I said, if this guy is calling me, he obviously wants to sell something. And I wasn't ready to buy anything, but she nudged me, and eventually I had to go. And for 3 hours, he tried to get me to see reasons why we can play in this field, what I'm about to show you, but I refused to listen. She kept nudging me, kept poking me like, why don't you pay attention? Until 3 hours later, he started showing me the numbers. I want to show you the numbers. He started showing me the numbers. And when I started seeing the numbers, I had this voice speak to me, say, come on, why don't you swallow your pride and stop being stupid? Why don't you pay attention to what is being told to you? And so I went home that night. For 3 nights, I was searching the internet because he showed me the figures. One of the things was we had a mutual friend who in 2019, we were told something like this, but we did not listen. And that friend invested $500. And that $500 grew to 1.5 billion Naira in about 1 year. And I said, how? You see, what I'm about to show to you is just about getting yourself educated and taking position. It doesn't matter if you take it or not. This train has left the station. It does not matter if you take this up today. Oh, my people. All right. It doesn't matter whether you take this up today or not. This train has left the station. It is so lucrative. Let me not just go into all of that. So 3 nights after I came back, I was looking for ways to puncture what he told me and to see how I can actually go back to him and say, okay, I don't need this stuff. And then after 3 nights, I figured I needed to get into this. But then remember, I was broke. I already lost $480,000. I already lost some more millions in Forex and then fish farming. Already sold 3 cars in order to take care of my family in 2020. I was broke, but I needed to get a way out of this hole. So I had to find a way. I hope that by the end of today, this session, you'll be able to find a way to do something in this space. Now, why should you pay attention to this space? Let me share my screen with you. Why you need to pay attention to this space. But before I share my screen with you, if this story resonates with you, if you've given money to someone to do business with you, it didn't go down well. You've tried 1 or 2 things, it didn't go down well. And somehow, this story, you connect to my story somewhere, maybe not everywhere. Can I get a 222 in the comment section? 222. Aha, Doris is here. I'm still waiting to know what this is about. I know. I promise you, once I get in, boom, it's just going to go straight away. 222, if this resonates with you. Yeah. Okay, so it's time for me to show you what this is about. All right. So let's go there. Let me show you what this is about. Okay. Let's see. All right. This is about the next big thing. Okay. It's like this screen is covering something. Sorry, let me share again. Not sure what this is covering. Okay, can you see my screen? Please, can someone unmute and show me what if you can see my screen?
Yes, I can see.
Awesome, great stuff. So, Asia, you asked, what is this about? It's about the next big thing. I hope you are ready for the next big thing. All right. Now, the first question I want to answer is, why should you pay attention to what I'm about to share with you? The reason you need to pay attention is simple. Is because we're talking about cryptocurrency, and cryptocurrency has come to stay. And the first cryptocurrency was Bitcoin. Bitcoin started somewhere in 2009 from less than 1 cent. By the end of 2009, it has already hit 50 cents. Look at it here. All right. By 2010, it hit the exchanges, and by the time it got to the end of 2010, it's already hit 50 cents from like 1 cent. And sometime around May in 2021, Bitcoin hit $67,000 for one, and then it dropped down to about $30-something thousand and went back and hit the $67,000 2 or 3 times more in the past couple of weeks and also. And Bitcoin has been said to say it's going to hit like $100,000 and will go up to even $300,000. And Bitcoin was the first cryptocurrency that was formed. So if any one of us here is not taking cryptocurrency seriously, you need to ask yourself, if something grew from less than 1 cent or about 1 cent to about $67,000 in about 11 years, do I want to pay attention to it, or do I want to just not pay attention and just move on? Another reason is that the value of fiat currency as we know it, the dollar, the Naira, is continuously eroding. The value of Naira, the value of dollar is eroding real time. Let me ask you, what is the current value of Naira to dollar? I think, let's say it's about maybe 570 or so. So if that is the case, let me ask you, how far devalued is your 1 million Naira? If you had 1 million Naira when Naira to dollar exchange was 360 Naira to $1. If you had 1 million Naira, how much is your 1 million Naira today that the exchange rate is about 570 Naira to $1? This is it. At the time when it was 360 Naira to $1, your $1, you could, with $1 million, with 1 million Naira, you could buy $2,777. But with 570 Naira to $1, you could only buy $1,754 with 1 million Naira. So that means that for you to hit $2,777, you would need extra 583,000 Naira. This is how fast the Naira is failing. So no matter the job you do today, if you're being paid in Naira, you need to stop again and think, is your salary, I told you I was served as an HR person for 15 years. Is anybody's salary increased so fast as inflation is hitting the Naira? I don't think so. So it means that your 1 million Naira then is now devalued to about 631,500 Naira. And you have lost 368,500 Naira in no time. Even today, in 2021, if someone had gotten a job in April when perhaps the exchange rate was about 430 or so, and that job was, say, 500,000 Naira, you'd agree with me that today the value of his salary is no longer 500,000. It's probably maybe around 400,000 Naira. Okay, that is what is happening. And this is real. Whether we pay attention to it or not, it is so real. It's time to begin to look for a way to earn in a currency that is harder than this currency that we have that's being hit really bad by inflation. So what if I'm able to show you a way that you can actually, what if I'm able to show you a way that you can actually, 1, hedge your funds against devaluation, and 2, increase your present Naira value to the future value in dollars, and 3, keep your investment in your custody with little or no effort? Would that sound, how does that sound? If I'm able to show you how you can hedge your funds against the forces of inflation, if I could show you how you could increase your present Naira value, like if you put 100,000 Naira today, how you can hedge it and increase its value so that it comes back to you in dollars, and your money is protected. And what if I could show you how you could actually Keep your investment in your custody with little or no effort. Remember, I lost $480,000 the second week of December 2018 because the money was not in my hand. Because I gave someone else the money to manage. The person made one wrong decision and boom, I was gone. My money gone. It happened again. Then I went into another business with little or no knowledge. And boom, I lost again. You see, there's this saying, when money hits a brain or hits a mind that is untrained, problem is going to follow. So I wasn't trained in that aspect, fish farming and all of that, and boom, problem. What if I showed you a platform that could take your 57,000 Naira today, that is approximately $100, to 500x. By 500x, I mean 50,000%. 50,000%. Now it sounds unreasonable. It sounds unheard of. It sounds like oh, these guys have come again with their big numbers. Please stay with me and let me show you. Remember, if this is not making sense to you yet, I can understand. It took me 3 hours, but it took my friend 3 hours to get through to me. So if it's not making sense to you, I can totally understand. But my advice to you is please wait, stay with me, all right? Now, 57,000, all right? If you put 57,000 and you multiply it by $1,000, that's like 500,000, all right, dollars. Let's look at this. How much value do you think you should pay to access a platform that has the capacity to give you such structured information without you doing anything extra? I mean, like practically guide you step by step, hold your hands, and you don't have to give your money to anyone. But this level, this leap, this massive exponential leap is very possible without giving a penny, without giving a dollar, a cent to anyone to say, take, hold it, do business for me, and give me some return on investment. Then you go back home and pray, hoping that nothing happens. If I were to show you how this money will be in your control every time, and it could take you less than 10 seconds. If you say, look, you know what, I don't like this asset, I'm going out of this asset, I want to buy something else. It'll take you about less than 10 seconds to sell off that asset, get another asset. And if you say, okay, you know what, I'm totally out of the market, I'm totally out of the space, and I want to go home with my money, it would take you 10 minutes to get your money out into your bank account. It's not somebody telling you, hey, you bought a package for 6 months, you can't touch your money until 6 months. You bought a package for 1 year, we'll be giving you 1 Naira or 10% or 5% or 1.5% every day until we pay you 2 times your money. And so you are stuck and you are praying that nothing happens to the company, nothing happens to the business because your money is with them. So if I were to show you that level of freedom, how much do you think it should cost? Now I need us to hit the chat button, the chat box. How much do you think it should cost? If I was to show you that. All right, somebody said maybe $3,000 to $5,000. Okay, not sure though. Yes, come on, let's make this interactive. How much do you think? I'm sure if you have probably lost money before, or you've had issues with this, you value what we're talking about. Yes, come on. If I was to show you something that could do 5,000%, okay, 50,000%, I mean 5,000%, 10,000%, of you having total control, what would it be like? Okay, what do you think it should cost? All right, nobody wants to say anything. All right, great stuff. I'm going to show you what it's going to cost, right? Okay, I'm going to show you what it's going to cost. So at this point in time, my friends, I welcome you to the power of To Know It. The company we work with, the organization, the community we work with is called To Know It. To know it is coined from 3 words, to know it. You know what I mean? That's to know something. And for us, we feel that knowledge is everything. You see, so what we do here is that we expose you to fundamental, we do the fundamental research for you. And we do the technical research because in a space, in the cryptocurrency space, you have over 9,000 cryptocurrencies. Without being able to do fundamental analysis or technical analysis, it will be really difficult or maybe even impossible for you to thrive in this space. So we do all of that, and then we teach you how you can also do same for yourself, that by giving control back to you. And then we also do the community analysis, the portfolio analysis. I mean, if you're able to do all of these things, it's more like you have a life skill, all right? It's more like you have a life skill. And then you have quality mentorship. Yesterday, in our mentorship class by 9 p.m. yesterday, oh my God, what we learned about the metaverse was amazing. It's mind-opening, mind-blowing. What's happening in this world? And so many persons are not aware of it. So we can assure you that with our long-term results that we call, one call, a trade call can actually change a person's life. I repeat, one call, one trade call could actually change your life. Let me share some examples with you. Can you all see my screen? Can somebody tell me if you can see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, great stuff.
I can.
Okay, great. So I want to share with you, I want to show you some of the things that we have done in the past. I want to show you some of the things that we have done in the past. The things that I'm going to show you, in order for you to understand, if you are new in this space, I know some people may understand faster, some people are new in this space, so I'm trying to carry everybody along. Don't worry, we'll soon be done. It's a short presentation. It's like you are buying into a tech company. For instance, Theta. If you go and find out, Theta Network is a company that is built to make video streaming easier and less expensive. In fact, the co-founder of YouTube is on the advisory board of Theta Network. And the native token of Theta Network is Theta. Why am I explaining this to you? I am not talking to you about audio money. I'm not talking to you about money in the air. When people don't understand, they feel that, oh, cryptocurrency is something that is like you're just imagining it. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about real companies. When you buy the tokens of these companies, when you buy into the projects of these companies, it's more like in the traditional sense, you are buying the shares of maybe Zenith Bank, GT Bank, when they were like in pennies, you know, 1 Naira, 2 Naira, 1 kobo, 2 kobo. And as they grow, because of the activities and the services and the value that they bring to the table, the value of your shares, the quality, the worth of your shares also grows, all right? That's how this works. So when you find out a company, a tech company that is going into a project early enough, and then you go into that and you buy their share, you buy their tokens. Now, in this case, it's more like, let me say, the shares in this case have, they've been digitized or they've been tokenized. So you buy the tokens or you buy what most of us will call the cryptocurrencies of these companies. As the value of these companies grow, the value of your token also grows. And so you probably bought the token at perhaps 4 cents, 3 cents, 2 cents, and then it goes to $1. It goes to $14. It goes to $10. It's simple mathematics. The value of your token grows, you make more money. Simple. There are no hard and fast rules. Understand that as much as you have viable, good tokens and projects and companies out there, there are cryptocurrencies that have been designed to take money away from you. That is why you don't necessarily rely on YouTube, the internet to get your information and all of that. You need coaching, you need guidance, you need mentorship. I'm telling you from the bottom of my heart, chances are in a space of 9,000 to 11,000 cryptocurrencies as a novice, you will make ghastly mistakes. I could tell you for free, chances are you will make costly mistakes. And when you make those mistakes and you lose money, It's not about the cryptocurrency space. It's about your decisions. You going blindly, me going blindly without guidance. But if only you pay attention to mentorship, to coaching, to guidance, forget it. This space is super lucrative. I tell you, my friends. So I want to share with you, what have we done in the past as a community to know it? We have a set of analysts that have, from 2017 till date, have made over 989 calls over, and they've had 97.5% accuracy in predicting, in calling projects that will do well, and those projects did well. I want to show you a couple of them. I can't show you all, but some have even happened in the past couple of weeks. I was training in Port Harcourt when we bought Yale Finance. It's a token that was called, before it hit the market, we got to know about. While I was training, 2 hours into my training, we got a call and said, check. By the time we checked, Yale Finance had done 260%. My friends, it means if I had put in 1 million Naira into Yale Finance, I would have made 2.6 million. That means I would have made extra 1.6 million Naira. This is not typical, so don't take my example as typical, as we're not financial advisors. I'm just telling you possibilities. I'm not giving you guarantees. This is not one of those presentations where we guarantee you heaven and earth will happen. No. We're saying this is real life business world, investment world. It goes up, it comes down. But with guidance, you'll be profitable. We're not perfect, but we're profitable. Now let me show you what we've done before. All right. So in 20, let me go. Everything that I'm sharing with you, you can find online. You can go to coinmarketcap.com or coingecko.com and check. Okay. Now I want to talk to you about Theta. Let me go to somewhere it is clearer. Now in 2020, March 13th, we called Theta. This community, the analysts, they called Theta. Theta was 4 cents when they called Theta. Now, it means that if you had $100 at the time that Theta was called, which is 36,000 Naira at that time, you would have gotten 2,500 units. If you had $500 at that point in time and you were in this community and you had the information, you would have been able, with your 180,000 Naira, you would have been able to buy 12,500 units of Theta. And if you had $1,000 with 360,000 Naira, as it were, you would have been able to buy 25,000 units of Theta. Let's go further. 1 year down the line, your Theta, 1 unit of Theta had grown by virtue of the activities of Theta. Remember, I told you that Theta Networks is a company set up to make video streaming easier, to make it less expensive. You can go and do your own research. Everything I'm sharing with you, you can go and do your own research. So 1 year down the line, Theta had become $14.87. It means that if you were there and you had this information and you took action, your $100 would have, your $100 or 36,000 Naira would have grown to 18.5 million Naira in 1 year, from 2020 to 2021. That means all through the coronavirus period, while people were talking about pandemic and no pandemic, palliatives and no palliatives, you have an investment somewhere that you have control over and you can pull out at any point in time. And that investment has grown from $100 to $37,175, or from 36,000 Naira to 18.5 million. If you had invested $500, your $500 would have grown to 92.9 million. If you had invested $1,000, the $1,000 would have grown to 185 million Naira. 36,000 Naira to 185 million Naira in 1 year. Again, remember, like I said, you can go to CoinMarketCap. Let me show you what to do. Go to CoinMarketCap. Look for Theta. Go to historical data. If you have a pen, you can write it down. Go to historical data. Take the price of Theta in March, around March 13th or so. Then come down to March 2021. You'll find the all-time high, which is about $14. Take it down. Do the mathematical calculation. What is the percentage increase? Then ask yourself, Stallone, Godwin, Dennis, Amara, Catherine, if I put $1,000, if I knew about this, and I had the knowledge, the presence of mind to put $1,000, how much would I have made with this percentage increase? It's mathematics, it's science, it doesn't lie. The only reason you and I didn't put money there is we perhaps did not know about Theta, or we heard about it, but we were perhaps not knowledgeable enough to go into it, or we had our fears. But mathematically, you cannot dispute numbers. I think somebody said that it's only a fool that sees results and argues. So that's why I wasn't there probably. You weren't there. But that was then. Let me show you a few other figures, what we've done. Now look at this. T-Fuel. T-Fuel is like a sister coin to Theta, all right? Now look, if you had invested $100, $500, $1,000 into T-Fuel, T-Fuel, when it was called in this community, was less than a cent. Look at it. It was less than a cent. It was less than 1 cent. 1 year and 3 months down the line, if you had invested 36,000 Naira into T-Fuel, because T-Fuel grew from less than a cent to 68 cents, that means that your $100, your 36,000 Naira had grown to 37.4 million Naira. 1 year, 3 months, my friends. As I'm calling these figures, I'm challenging you to go check them out. And I'm also asking you, which business would you do? What job would you be doing that would give you this quantum leap? It is very hard, except in the cryptocurrency space. So don't brush it aside. If you want to say yes or no, say it from an informed point. If you had invested $500, 180,000 there, it would have grown to 187 million. If you had invested 360,000, it would have grown to 374 million Naira in 1 year and 3 months. Remember, the fact that you're making more money, it means you are in a better space to make bigger investments. My friends, if you were comfortable before you went into this, you become more comfortable. If you were in the survival stage before you get into this, it will shoot you to the thriving stage, where what money to spend is no longer a problem because you are in a state where you can make bigger investments, smarter investment decisions. Let me show you something that really caught my attention when I came here. BNB, I had about 10 units of BNB at the time. I didn't even know. Of course, I didn't buy it at 3 cents. I think when I bought it was already about like $10 or so. But imagine if you and I were here in 2017 when BNB was called in this community, and BNB was 3 cents, and we're told to leave it. By the way, there's another token that has been called that they said was built with the same algorithm that BNB was built with, and that we should buy it and leave it for 3 years. That if you're able to buy $4,000 worth of that, it could give you up to between 28 and $48 million in 4 years. Some of us have started accumulating. Building wealth is not a one-day thing. We can't get wealthy in a day, but we can get wealthy daily by virtue of the decisions that we make and the actions that we take. So if you had invested $100, 36,000 Naira, or maybe $500 or $1,000, 3 years and 7 months down the line, BNB is the native token to the largest cryptocurrency exchange in the world today, which is the Binance exchange. And because Binance is offering enormous value, what happened? BNB grew from 3 cents to $677. So what has your 36,000, 180,000, 360,000 turned into? My friends, your 36,000 3 years plus after had grown to 1.1 billion. Again, you can go to CoinMarketCap, take these figures and do the calculation yourself. Your $500 had grown to 5.6 billion. Your $100 had grown to 11.2 billion Naira. Now, excuse me. Now, while you are at that, let me show you one that's not too long. This is the last one, Hex. Hex was called in 2020. It was less than $1 too. And 1 year and 9 months down the line, just here, September 19th, 2021, Hex went from less than $1, 1 cent to about 51 cents. So those who invested $100, that 36,000 Naira had grown to 2 billion. The 180,000 had grown to 10 billion. The 360,000 had grown to 20 billion. That's like $1,000. Let me tell you something. I did a calculation. I sold one of my cars in 2020. I told you I sold 3 cars in order to survive because I was broke. I sold one of my cars for 4 million Naira. So I did a calculation, 4 million Naira, give and take at the time was probably about $11,100. But let's take it to be $10,000. If $1,000 grew to 20 billion Naira, imagine if I had this information and I put my money into Hex. I put $10,000 into Hex. I'm just telling you. How much do you think if $1,000 gave 20 billion Naira, how much do you think my $10,000 would have given me? Can you put it in the comment section? How much do you think my $10,000 would have given? Just do 20 billion times 10. Yes, comment section, 20 billion times 10. How much do you think it would have given me? My friends, it would have given me 200 billion Naira. I probably wouldn't have been here doing this presentation, obviously. You know why I did not invest the money? Yes, Catherine, 200 billion. Somebody said you would have fed nations. You understand? You know why I did not? I didn't know. I had no info. I had no knowledge. In fact, I hated everything cryptocurrency because the person I gave my money to claimed to be trading cryptocurrency and moved my money into something else. So I didn't know. I sold those cars to feed my family. Emotionally battered. You see how powerful knowledge is? So this is about knowing and taking action. So question is, seeing all these things, the question is, what product, what is the product, right now in our community, what is the product that is delivering the future? What is the product that people are jumping in because it helps you to get in when it's very low, shows you where to get in, guides you, and then you go to the moon. And this product is actually minting future dollar millionaires, not millionaires in Naira. I can assure you that this is the last expensive thing you will ever buy because every other thing after now will become cheap. If you just follow the guidance, that product is called MoonAcade. Now, the MoonAcade enables you to see emerging opportunities. How do you start? Now look at this, real quick. What you get from the MoonAcade, secret buying opportunities, emerging coin analysis, mentorship, blog posts, structured coins analysis, and a trading academy plus periodic live webinars. Every week, we have 2 mentorship sessions If you put all of these things together, they are valued at $10,504. Trust me, by $10,000 to learn something that is capable of turning your $100 into $2 billion, this is a piece of cake, if you ask me sincerely. Because one call, my friends, one call is all you need. Again, you don't have to do this because the space is not waiting for you. If cryptocurrency for 11 years has survived from Bitcoin to over 9,000, and they're coming out every time. Now we're talking about NFTs, we're talking about DeFi, we're talking about the metaverse. Facebook has changed its name from Facebook to Meta. That is the metaphysical verse. That's beyond the universe. My friends, beyond the physical. People gaming, everything. It's millionaires are being minted every time, every day. What I think we should do here in this part of the world is begin to pay attention. You will not pay $10,000. All you do is pay an enrollment fee and a subscription fee. The enrollment fee is simply a one-time $250. And the subscription fee is simply $1,000. So to get into this community, you simply need $1,250. The enrollment fee is one-off and $1,000 for 12 months. My friends, ladies and gentlemen, one call is all you need. Without referring anyone, without selling, without necessarily stretching yourself. If you decide to stay in your kitchen, trust me, this makes a whole lot of sense. Okay? Now, that's all you need, and you're good to go. So, and if you take a look at this, I'm trying to make sure that we stay within time. If you take a look at this, you would agree with me what I've shown you, that with knowledge and professional guidance, within the to know which community, if you subscribe and follow this system, we can't stay where we are today. Give yourself 1 year, 6 months, 1 year, 2 years, and we are far away positively from where we are today. You see, with or without me, with or without you, this space will continue to live on. Let me share with you what has happened. Let me share with you what has happened, what some people have experienced in this space. Give me a moment. Let me share with you 1 minute. Okay? It's important that we see. This is about some people, a few weeks ago, a few calls that were made. See, can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? I'm sharing a new document. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
All right, great. So, my friends, the truth is, those are real people, all right? Real people with real testimonials. So for those of us who probably we meet on Tuesdays like this by 8 o'clock, we have Zoom sessions in order to educate people. Tomorrow, if you want to stay till tomorrow, you probably will wish that you had started today. As I tell you my story, do you know how I feel if I knew some of the things I know today and I started a year ago? So let's get started, all right? I think, I believe you've been educated. I want to take a few questions if you have questions, and let's get cracking. And I want to tell you something, whoever invited you to this place, whoever showed you this, please take the person out and show some appreciation, all right? Because the person could have decided not to call you and the person will still make a whole lot of money. Remember, like what I've shown you, this is not built around any referrals. It's built clearly on you making investments, and the investments, your fund is in your hands. Questions? Come on, let's go. Thank you very much for allowing me to serve you this evening. And if you have questions, I'll be here to take the questions, please. Any questions? Okay, I see one in the chat box. Let me see. All right. Questions, any questions? All right. If there are no questions, I believe that you have benefited from this presentation. Go back. Dr. Dan, I see you are unmuted. You've unmuted your microphone. Do you want to say something?
Yes, my dear.
All right, please, sir, go ahead. Good evening.
Thank you very much for this wonderful explanation. I have a challenge which I want you to please help me. Last week, I enrolled with 850 for 6 months.
Okay.
And I tried to connect with the Telegram to be able to participate in the sniping or whatever that happened last week. But I couldn't get connected.
Okay.
Through the Telegram. So when the coins were called, I didn't get information.
All right, that's not a problem. That is a support service that you need, and I will take care of that after now. So I'm really looking
I'm in Enugu.
That's not a problem. We can always connect. We can always connect. I could send my number to you privately. You are in Enugu,
Great.
all right? I can send my number to you and we can connect on WhatsApp. That's not a problem at all. So for those who are here for the first time, I want to hear if you have any questions, okay?
Sure, I do.
Please, yes.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you.
Yeah. Good evening.
Okay. I heard you loud and clear, but I still have some. I need some clarity, in the area where you said you're going to do like $1,250.
Yeah.
Is that the money to when you make a call, or just, I didn't get that point clearly.
Okay, see the $1,250 as your payment for 1 year mentorship and coaching. That's the money because naturally what most people will ask is, if I make all this money, what does the community get? So the answer is that the money that we pay for subscription is what the analysts and the community will get. So the $1,250 is like you're paying for your coaching and mentorship, all right? So that you are guided. And then once you do that, when calls are made, whether it's $100 or it is $500 or it's $1,000 you want to invest, that is completely 100% in your care. Have I answered your question?
Yes, so that means at any time there's a call, you will have to fund it.
Yes, you would have to fund it. It's your call. Nobody would even take any dime from you to fund it in your behalf. That's what we're trying to kick against. Okay,
so how often?
No, please go ahead.
So how often do you have calls? Because the way it's going is not in anybody's hand. It's only when there is availability, right? Or when there is any. So is it possible for one to register for mentorship for 1 year, and in 1 year there hasn't been any call?
Okay, I want to ask you, I want to reverse the question, and I want to ask you respectfully. The question is, how much do you have to invest in all the calls? How much do I have? Because the calls will swallow you up. Because you can't invest in everything. Do you understand?
No. Yeah, I got you, but I'm just trying to ask, is there a possibility that one would have registered in a year and you've not had an opportunity, even when you have the wherewithal and you're not able to, there's no opportunity for that call to come? I'm just asking.
It happens every week or every other week. Sometimes we have 4 calls. I know that last week we had 4, we were supposed to invest in what is called a crowd loan in Aquila, in Parallel Finance, in Moonbeam, and one other coin. Not everybody had the money to go into all 4. You understand? So some people went into 1, some people went into 2. And while we were at that, we the week before we had the Velaspad, which was the one that gave people like 200. I think it was Velaspad. I gave like 260% in 2 hours. As of yesterday, again, we're told we can now go and stick what is called a particular token called false path. So you say, I'm just giving you an example that we are getting inundated. We are getting swallowed up with, okay, so where do I, because the opportunities are all there. It's just how much does one have to go into them. You understand? So there's no shortage.
Okay, so that I don't take other people, let me just ask maybe this one also,
Please go ahead.
For the first time. Okay, how Parental One answers the calls or call or whatever it is, and does it have time duration? Is it tenured? Like you must leave it for like 1 year, 2 years, 6 months, and all that before you can, if you want to realize some of the investment, and if you have to realize some investment, and how do you realize?
Okay, so it's a very important question you've asked. Now, when you go into an asset, first of all, when we are coached and mentored here, the first thing you have to understand is we're not gambling. So we're not getting in today and we want to get today. That's one. Number 2, we are not focused on what do I get every day. We are focused on how can I hold? And then once it goes, boom, it takes me out of a sphere. It takes me out of a space to another space. Like the examples I showed to you. Those who bought Theta and made the results I showed to you, they waited for 1 year. Those who bought T-Fuel and made the result I showed to you, they waited for 1 year and 3 months. However, within this period, some people, after 2 months, the coin probably had moved from $1 to $2. And said, I want to take my profit. Nobody is stopping you. Okay, after 3 months, my $100 had become $500. Okay, I want to take my capital that I invested in this project out. Nobody is stopping you, because that's a wise thing to do. If you ask me, if I invest $100 and I make $300, common sense, I probably would take $150. So I know that the other $150 is my profit. I can leave it for 1 year, because probably the analysts or the coaches have said, from our analysis, this coin is going to do 10x. 10x is 1,000%. So why should I take it all when I know this has the potential to do 10x? It has the potential to do 5x. So the moment I'm able to take part of my capital or all of my capital and some profit off, I'm willing to wait. Does that make sense? So you are at liberty. Whether you want to take, go ahead. What is it? But have I answered your question? Saying, I want to be sure I've answered your question. I got that point.
Yes, you've answered that part, but the second part was like, where and how do you realize? Okay. It's not like you go to your bank account like Naira and all that, and so.
Yes. Okay, so we would teach you all of
where you sell.
Yes, this is more like if you invest in stock, you buy shares and your shares appreciate. All right. The next question would be, okay, how do I sell my stock How do I sell my shares and how do I get the money, right? The layman on the street doesn't know how. Now the stockbroker helps, all right? Now in this case, it's part of our educational program to show you how. But this is what I can assure you. It takes less than 10 seconds for you to sell whatever you want to sell. In this case, you buy a token, you want to sell it because you've made profit. It takes like less than 10 seconds in many cases to sell it. And then the money is now in what we call USDT. USDT is the cryptocurrency form of the US dollars, so to speak. And once you get into USDT, I'm telling you truthfully, it takes between 5 and 15 minutes and many times less than 10 minutes for it to hit your local bank account. There's a process, and the process to execute the process takes about 60 seconds. And then it takes about 5 to 10 minutes for the money to hit your account, and you are in control all the time. Nobody is nobody is saying, okay, let me do this for you. So it's part of the educational program that we dish out. All right?
Okay.
Yes. It's not tied to anything. I'll give you, for instance, we use some exchanges, okay, that can help you. All right. Basically, I don't want to go into, so I don't take everybody's time, but trust me, it takes seconds for you to sell. It takes minutes for you to hit your bank account. No hassle. Yes.
Thank you. Just the last one now.
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Does it have also to do with bringing more people for you to grow or to make more, or I don't know? I'm just asking.
Have you noticed that I showed you everything? Everything, all the results I've shown to you, they were gotten without referring one person. So this meeting is a meeting for people who are saying, you know what, I don't want to refer anyone. I have money I want to invest, and I want to have control. That's what this meeting is about. So you don't have to talk to anyone. No, you don't. In order to record the results I've shown to you.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Let me give you that chance too.
Any other question? Okay. Somebody sent something in the chat. What is the minimum amount that can be invested? I think I've answered this question while responding to Kelechi Abara's questions. Nothing, no band. It could be $50. It could be $100. It could be $1,000. But here's the thing, right? If a project is called, and I put in $100, and we wait for 6 months, and that project does 20%, it means I'm going to make $20, because 20% of $100 is $20. Is that not so? But if another person, let's say, let's say Mike, or maybe Sarah, invests $1,000 and also waits for the same 6 months, 20% of $1,000 is $200. So while Sarah had made $200, I have made only $20. The same effort, the same waiting period. So the key difference in this space is your equity. How much do you have to invest in any project that is called? That's it. Otherwise, there is no low, no high. Yes, Mr. Mike Adig, please.
Okay, my question is, what is the government influence or regulation or position on this business? I've heard some times ago that CBN had delegitimized crypto. So can you throw some light on that?
Okay, this is the example I give to people. There was a time we used to buy recharge cards on the streets. All right. Is that not so? We buy from vendors. We probably go to the companies, MTN, Globalcom, or probably buy from them. Then banks came into the space and they made it easier. I can't remember the last time. I don't even know the codes for scratching and loading myself. I don't know. I probably will ask somebody if I fall into that case. I think for MTN, is it 55? Is it 5556 or 55? Okay, you know, because we just recharge go to your bank app or use your USSD code. All right. Now, if CBN comes up one day and says, hey, you know what, banks, don't deal in cryptocurrency, don't deal in recharge cards again, because that's not your core business. Focus on core financial businesses. Does that delegitimize the selling of recharge cards? No. What banks will simply do is desist from selling recharge cards. And then we will begin to go back to the vendors on the street, or there'll be new forms of outlets that'll be selling recharge cards, but banks will not, because CBN, that is regulating banks, have said, don't sell recharge cards. If you take that to the cryptocurrency world, CBN has simply told banks, don't deal in cryptocurrency. But CBN has never said that it is illegitimate or it is illegal. In fact, I think a court case was won recently, where it was clearly stated, all right? So CBN, I think even members of the CBN, top officials of CBN have also come out and said, look, we have not said cryptocurrency is illegal. It's not illegal. It's not illegitimate. We've simply said banks should not deal in cryptocurrencies. I hope I've explained it using that example of recharge card. Okay. The document is online. We can always pull it out, take a look again, and use this illustration I gave. Okay. Any other question? Okay. In the absence of any question, thank you so much. Sorry? Yes, AJ, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was like, okay, you've answered many of the questions, most of the things that were on my mind, others have asked, so I've gained clarity. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. So I have to jump into another meeting. I'm 13 minutes late for that meeting, but I just couldn't leave you guys. Thank you very much. I've enjoyed myself. Thank you for allowing me to serve you. I hope that you go back to whoever invited you and get started right now, right now, right now. Don't wait, all right? And bye for now.